Stop scrolling. I need you to feel this, not just hear it. Right now, in this exact moment, something inside you recognized this message before your mind could process it. That pull you just felt, that subtle shift in your chest, that quickening in your spirit, that is not random. You were meant to see this, not because of an algorithm, not because of chance, but because there is something in you that has been waiting to be acknowledged. And if you are still here, still reading, still feeling that quiet intensity building in your core, then you already know what I am about to say is true. Your spirit is already confirming it. Chosen one. This is not motivation. This is recognition. There are frequencies that only certain people carry, and you are one of them. You have spent your entire life sensing that something about you does not fit the patterns around you, not in a way that makes you less, but in a way that makes you fundamentally different. And that difference has cost you something real. It has isolated you in rooms full of people. It has confused you when you tried to follow paths that worked for everyone else. It has made you question whether there is something wrong with you when the truth is far deeper, far more significant than that. You were never meant to blend in. You were designed to stand apart. You were marked before you took your first breath. And everything you have experienced up to this point, every hardship, every misunderstanding, every moment where you felt like you were carrying weight that no one else could see, was preparing you for what comes next. Let me say that again, because I need you to receive this. Everything you have walked through was intentional. The isolation was not rejection, it was protection. The confusion was not punishment, it was refinement. The weight you have carried was not a burden, it was training. You were being built for something that requires a level of spiritual strength that cannot be developed in comfort. And right now, in this moment, you are standing at the edge of understanding why. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the weight of everything unsaid? Not just sensing tension, but feeling it like a physical presence pressing against your chest. Have you ever known something was wrong before anyone spoke a word, before any evidence appeared, before logic could explain it? Have you ever given everything to people who could not see you, loved deeply in spaces that did not love you back, carried emotional burdens that were never yours to carry? Yet somehow you picked them up anyway, because that is just what you do. Have you ever felt responsible for the energy in every room you enter? Exhausted by crowds, yet energized by deep one-on-one connection. Understood by strangers, yet misunderstood by those closest to you. If you are nodding right now, if something in you just stirred, if you feel like I am describing your exact experience, then stay with me. Because what I am about to reveal will completely reframe how you see your entire journey. It will give language to things you have felt but could never articulate. It will validate experiences you thought were unique to you, but are actually signs of something far greater. You were not broken by your experiences. You were built for them. Every moment where you felt too much, every time you were labeled as too sensitive, too intense, too deep, every season where you stood alone while others moved in groups, laughing at jokes you did not find funny, engaging in conversations that felt hollow, participating in systems that drained your soul, that was not punishment. That was preparation. You were being refined in ways that others were not, because you carry a level of spiritual awareness that cannot be taught in seminars, cannot be learned from books, cannot be transferred through information alone. It can only be activated through experience, through pressure, through the kind of isolation that forces you to develop an inner knowing that does not depend on external validation. And right now, in this moment, something in you is waking up to that truth. You are starting to see that what you called weakness was actually your greatest strength. What you called oversensitivity was actually spiritual discernment. What you called being too much was actually being enough for a calling that requires depth most people never access. Think about your life for a second. Really pause and go back to those early years when you first realized you were different. Maybe it was the way you felt emotions more intensely than those around you. You cried at things others laughed at. You were moved by moments others barely noticed. You felt the pain of characters in stories as if it were your own. You absorbed the moods of everyone in your household, becoming anxious when they were anxious, heavy when they were heavy, unable to separate their emotional state from yours. Maybe it was the way people seemed to project things onto you without reason. Teachers treated you differently. Peers either gravitated toward you or avoided you. Authority figures either trusted you with responsibilities beyond your years or watched you with suspicion you never earned. There was something about your presence that triggered reactions in people before you ever opened your mouth. Maybe it was the way certain environments drained you while others lit something up inside you instantly. You could not spend long periods in shopping malls without feeling physically exhausted. Large gatherings left you needing days to recover. But a quiet conversation with someone going through something real, a moment of genuine connection, a space where truth was welcome. Those moments recharged you like nothing else could. You tried to explain it, but words never felt sufficient. How do you describe feeling the emotional temperature of a room? How do you explain knowing someone is lying without any evidence? How do you articulate the difference between being alone and being lonely, or how you can feel intensely lonely in a crowd, yet completely at peace in solitude? You tried to adjust, to fit in, to be more like everyone else. You studied how others moved through life with such ease, how they seemed unbothered by things that crushed you, how they could engage in surface-level interactions without feeling like something essential was missing. But adjustment never felt right. It felt like wearing clothes that did not fit, like speaking a language that was not your native tongue, like playing a role in a play you never auditioned for. And deep down, beneath all the confusion and self-doubt, you carried this quiet, knowing that your life was heading somewhere specific, even when nothing around you confirmed it, even when every external indicator suggested you were off track, lost, behind. There was something in you that refused to believe that narrative, that knowing was not imagination. It was memory. Not memory in the conventional sense, not something you can recall like an event from your past, but a deeper kind of memory. Something in your spirit remembers the assignment before your mind can understand it. Something in you knows why you are here, even when your conscious mind is asking all the questions. That is why you have never been able to settle. That is why comfort has never fully satisfied you. That is why, even in your quietest moments, there is a restlessness pulling you forward. A sense that there is more, that you are meant for more, that your life is supposed to look different than this. You were not sent here to drift through life unconsciously, collecting experiences and possessions and relationships without purpose. You were not sent here to just survive until you die. You were sent here with direction already embedded in your spiritual DNA, written into the fabric of your being before you took your first breath. And everything you have walked through, every betrayal that taught you discernment, every loss that taught you detachment, every disappointment that taught you resilience, has been shaping your capacity to carry what is coming. If this is resonating with you, go ahead and leave a comment. Just write the word "ready." Not for me, but as a declaration to yourself that you are done ignoring what you have always felt. Because what comes next requires you to own it. Now let me tell you what no one else will say, what most people are afraid to acknowledge, because it goes against everything the world teaches about strength and success. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is not something you need to fix, suppress, or outgrow. It is your filtration system. It is your early warning system. It is your direct line to truth. God placed that awareness in you so you could discern what is aligned and what is not. So you could sense what is real and what is performance. So you could navigate spaces that others move through blindly, believing everything they are told, accepting every invitation, trusting every friendly face. You can walk into a meeting and know within minutes whether the energy is genuine or manipulative. You can sit across from someone and feel the difference between their words and their intention. You can sense when something is about to shift before any physical evidence appears. That is not anxiety. That is not paranoia. That is not overthinking. That is spiritual intelligence operating at a level most people have completely shut down because it is inconvenient, because it complicates their lives, because it requires them to make difficult choices that separate them from what is familiar. But that kind of awareness comes with a cost, and nobody prepared you for this part. You do not get to live unconsciously. You do not get to ignore red flags and hope for the best. You do not get to stay in situations that feel wrong just because they look right on paper. While others ignore what they feel and push through, you are confronted with the misalignment immediately. Your body reacts. Your spirit reacts. You get physically sick in environments that are toxic, even when everyone else seems fine. You lose energy around certain people, even when they have not done anything overtly wrong. You feel the weight of inauthenticity like a heavy blanket pressing down on your chest. And that reaction has felt like a curse. It has felt like exhaustion. It has felt like you are too sensitive for this world, too complicated, too high maintenance. You have watched others thrive in situations that made you want to crawl out of your skin. You have seen people build careers in companies you could not last a month in. You have watched relationships flourish that would have destroyed you, and you wondered what was wrong with you. Why can everyone else handle this and I cannot? Why does everything feel so heavy for me? But here is what you did not understand. You were not failing, you were filtering. Every time you walked away from something that others stayed in, every time you felt disconnected in places where you were supposed to belong, every time your spirit rejected what your mind tried to accept, you were being guided. You were being protected from delays disguised as opportunities. You were being redirected from paths that would have taken you further from your purpose, even if they brought you closer to comfort. Here is what happens when you carry what you carry. You do not get to stay small. Life will not let you. You will be stretched, shaken, confronted with growth, whether you feel ready or not. There will be seasons where everything seems to break at once, where you are forced to face things you would rather avoid, where your life feels like it is being dismantled and rebuilt simultaneously. That is not chaos, that is precision. Because what you carry cannot remain dormant. When you rise, atmospheres shift. When you remember who you are, something in the unseen begins to move. You have been in a season of preparation, a season where nothing seemed to manifest the way you expected, where effort did not match outcome, where clarity felt just out of reach, and you kept asking, when will things align? When will I see the breakthrough? But you were asking the wrong question. The question was never when. The question was always, are you ready? Because the moment you step into full awareness, the moment you stop waiting for permission and start walking in your authority, everything shifts. Not because circumstances change, but because you do. Let me paint this clearly, because this is where everything changes. You are standing at a threshold right now, not metaphorically. Literally, there is an invisible line in front of you, and you can feel it even if you cannot see it. On one side is the version of yourself that has been surviving, adjusting, trying to make sense of a path that never quite fit, shrinking to accommodate others, second-guessing every decision, seeking permission from people who were never qualified to give it. On the other side is the version that has stopped asking for validation and started operating from inner knowing, stopped waiting for the right moment and started creating it. Stopped explaining yourself to people who will never understand and started moving in alignment regardless of who approves. One version seeks approval from every person in every room. The other version moves with quiet certainty that needs no external confirmation. One version explains itself constantly, justifies its choices, defends its decisions, tries to make everyone comfortable with its existence. The other version simply exists in alignment, unbothered by misunderstanding, unmoved by criticism, unshaken by opposition. One version asks, "Am I allowed to do this?" The other version declares, "This is what I am doing." One version waits for doors to open. The other version becomes the door, and you cannot straddle both anymore. You cannot keep one foot in the old way and one foot in the new way. You cannot claim your calling while still seeking approval from people who have no authority in your life. You cannot walk in purpose while still afraid of offending people who were never meant to walk with you. You have to choose. Not someday, not when you feel ready, not when circumstances align perfectly. Now, in this moment, you have to decide which version of yourself you are going to feed, which version you are going to become, which version you are going to take into the next season of your life. And I know what you are thinking because I can feel the resistance even through this message. You are thinking, "But I am still figuring things out. I still have questions I do not have answers to. I still do not have it all together. I still make mistakes. I still have moments of doubt. I still feel lost sometimes." And that is exactly the point. That is exactly why this message found you right now, because clarity does not come from having all the answers. Clarity comes from trusting what you already know. It comes from acting on the 5% you understand, instead of waiting for the 95% you do not. You do not need more information. You have enough. You do not need more confirmation. You have been confirmed repeatedly through every experience that brought you to this point. You do not need more time. You need movement. You need to stop preparing to prepare and start executing on what has already been revealed to you. You need to stop researching how to start and actually start. You need to stop asking everyone else what they think and listen to what your spirit has been screaming at you for years. There are people waiting on the other side of your obedience. Real people with real lives who are stuck in the same cycles you just broke free from. People who are sitting in the same confusion you sat in last year, asking the same questions you asked 5 years ago, feeling the same isolation you felt before you understood what it meant. People who will not encounter their breakthrough until you step into yours, because your breakthrough is the proof they need that it is possible. Your transformation is the permission they are waiting for. Your courage is the catalyst that will activate their movement. You are not just walking your journey for yourself. You are paving a way for others who are coming behind you, watching you, learning from you, even when you do not realize they are watching. Every time you choose alignment over comfort, you are showing someone else that it can be done. Every time you honor your knowing over popular opinion, you are giving someone else permission to do the same. Every time you walk away from what does not serve you, you are demonstrating to someone else that they too can leave what is killing them. And the longer you delay stepping fully into who you are, the longer they remain in cycles they were meant to exit. The longer you play small, the longer they believe small is all they can be. The longer you hide, the longer they stay hidden. This is not about ego. This is not about being special. This is about understanding that your life has impact whether you acknowledge it or not, and you get to choose whether that impact comes from you walking in purpose or you shrinking in fear. If that just hit you, if you felt that weight of responsibility land on your chest, if you suddenly realize that this is bigger than you, then I want you to do something right now. I want you to share this message. Not because I need the reach, not because I am trying to go viral, but because someone in your circle needs to hear this today. Someone you know is on the edge of giving up. Someone you know is questioning whether they should keep going. Someone you know is about to settle because they are tired of waiting for their moment. Be the catalyst. Tag someone. Send this to them directly. Let them know they are seen. Let them know they are not alone. Let them know that what they are feeling is valid and there is a reason for it. And here is what most people will not tell you. This path requires support. Not just spiritual support, but practical support. If this message is feeding your spirit, if it is giving you language for what you have been carrying, then consider supporting this work. There is a donation link in the comments, not as an obligation, but as an exchange of energy. When you invest in what is feeding you, you create space for more to come. You honor the flow. You participate in the cycle of giving and receiving, and that alignment matters. But let me get back to you, because this is not about guilt. This is about awakening. You have been living in a version of yourself that was necessary for survival, but it is no longer sufficient for your calling. You have outgrown the limitations you once accepted. You have seen too much to go back to living unconsciously. And now the only question is, what will you do with what you know? Some of you are going to close this message and go back to business as usual. You will feel inspired for a moment, but then the weight of routine will pull you back into familiar patterns. And that is okay. Free will is always honored. But some of you, a smaller group, are going to receive this as a turning point. You are going to let this moment mark you. You are going to make decisions differently from this point forward. You are going to stop apologizing for your intensity. You are going to stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You are going to start protecting your energy like it is sacred, because it is. You are going to return to practices that ground you, not out of obligation, but out of necessity. You are going to create space for silence, for stillness, for connection with the source that has been guiding you all along. You are going to stop seeking validation from people who were never meant to understand you. And you are going to start recognizing the ones who were sent to walk with you, not drain you. Here is what changes when you step into full alignment. And I need you to really hear this, because this is where the transformation becomes tangible. You stop performing. You stop trying to prove yourself to people who were never going to believe in you anyway. You stop chasing outcomes and start trusting process. Understanding that the journey is forming you into someone capable of sustaining what you are asking for. You move differently, not with arrogance, but with quiet authority, not with aggression, but with groundedness. You speak differently. Your words carry more weight because they are coming from a place of conviction rather than a place of seeking validation. You choose differently. You are no longer swayed by what everyone else is doing because you understand your path is not their path. And people notice, not because you are trying to be noticed, not because you are performing or projecting, but because presence cannot be ignored. When someone is truly aligned, when someone is operating from their authentic frequency, when someone has stopped fighting their design and started embodying it. There is a gravitational pull that happens naturally. Alignment creates impact without effort. It shifts rooms without words. It activates others simply by existing. You become the standard without trying to be the standard. You become the example without announcing yourself as an example. You become the invitation just by being fully yourself. And that activation is not always comfortable for people, and you need to be prepared for this. Some will be drawn to you like moths to flame, hungry for what they sense in you, even if they cannot name it. They will seek your presence, your counsel, your energy. Some will resist you, push back against you, criticize you, question you, because your alignment highlights their misalignment, and that confrontation is painful for people who are not ready to change. But all will feel you. All will be impacted. All will walk away different than they were before they encountered you, whether they admit it or not. Because when you carry a frequency that most people have suppressed in themselves, when you embody a level of truth that most people are afraid to access, your very presence becomes a mirror. It reflects back to them what they have been avoiding in themselves, what they have been denying, what they have been running from. And that confrontation will either inspire them to rise or trigger them to attack. Either way, it is not your job to manage their response. It is not your responsibility to make your light more comfortable for people who prefer darkness. Your job is to remain grounded in your truth. Your job is to stay anchored in your alignment. Your job is to keep showing up as yourself, regardless of how others react to it. You are stepping into a season where your voice will carry more weight than it used to, where your choices will create ripples you cannot yet see, where your presence will shift atmospheres you are not even trying to influence. That is what happens when you stop living from ego and start living from essence. Ego needs recognition. Essence simply is. And when you operate from that place, you do not need to force anything. You become the invitation. So, let me ask you directly, are you ready to stop playing small? Are you ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that this is it? Are you ready to honor what you have always known, even when it isolates you from what is familiar? Because this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your one life. And you were not given this awareness, this sensitivity, this depth, to waste it trying to fit into boxes that were never built for you. Your life is not ordinary. It never has been. And pretending otherwise is exhausting. You know it. I know it. So let it go. Let go of the version of yourself that needed permission. Let go of the narrative that your struggles mean you are behind. Let go of the belief that if it is hard, you must be doing it wrong. Some paths are hard because they are significant. Some journeys are lonely because they are pioneering. And some people are misunderstood because they are ahead of their time. You are one of those people. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner everything begins to click into place. Not because life gets easier, but because you stop resisting what you were always meant to be. You stop fighting your design, you stop apologizing for your depth, and you start walking with the kind of confidence that does not need external validation, because it is rooted in internal knowing. Before I close, I want to leave you with this. Anointed one, chosen one, marked one, you are not lost. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you were always meant to become. And every single thing you have walked through, every tear, every betrayal, every moment of doubt, it was shaping you for this, for right now, for for the moment where you finally stop questioning and start owning the truth that has been whispering to you your entire life. May clarity rest on your mind. May peace guard your spirit. May strength rise in the places you once felt weak. May every hidden part of your calling unfold with precision and timing that only heaven understands. And may you walk forward with the kind of certainty that can only come from knowing you were never walking alone. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Let me know what part hit you the hardest. Write Amen if you are ready to walk in alignment. Write Chosen if you recognize yourself in this message, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you might shift by simply passing this along. And remember, if this message has fed your spirit, support the work. Donation link is in the comments, not as a transaction, but as participation in a movement that is waking people up to who they really are. Every bit helps keep this message reaching the ones who need it most. Chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. You were sent to stand out, not for applause, but for purpose. Not for recognition, but for impact. Walk in that, own that, live that, because the world is waiting for you to remember who you are. And the moment you do, everything changes. Go forward with power. Go forward with clarity. Go forward knowing that what you carry matters. You are not here by accident. You are here on assignment. Now walk in it.